Hello, everyone out there in Rumble X and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we're going to talk some more about Wicked for Good, that movie that you don't care about anymore. So I don't know why you're watching this video. Nobody's talking about this movie anymore. It came and it went. It's gone. They got bigger fish to fry now. Okay? All the other blockbusters came out, okay, that buried Wicked. Okay, so Wicked's done. It's done. It's a dead franchise. And because this movie did so bad, they're not going to make any of the Wicked sequels. Now, I actually, I've said this before, but I listened to this entire thing, okay, and I bought it back in the day. Okay, like at least over 20 years ago, I bought this. Over 20 years ago. Unabridged right there, see? And I listened to the entire thing. So I know Wicked. I know the story. I know Elphaba and Glinda and all that, you know. I know the story about what happened. Okay, I never did see the Broadway show, although I know it was a big hit. I used to work in the theater district in Chicago, so, you know, obviously that's not Chicago out there, but, you know, so I know about it. I know the effect that it had on a lot of people, especially gay people, middle-aged rich women, and theater kids. Okay, the effect that Wicked had on them. Okay, if you're gay, you loved Wicked. Okay, it's like in your DNA or something. Anyway, so I understand the effect that it had, and so once this movie came out last year, you know, it was very promising. Okay, clearly you could not get the original Glinda and Elphaba. That was Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel, respectively. I did watch a video of them though on YouTube. You know, so I have seen the show on YouTube. I saw it last year, and they did an incredible job. Okay, they really did. Okay, Idina Menzel, I was already familiar with her because I know that she played not Anna. She played the Snow Queen girl. What's her name? From Frozen. See, yeah, I don't know. What was her name? There was Anna. That was what's her name? See, Kristen Bell was Anna, and who the hell? What was the what was the girl with the white hair? Elsa. Sorry, my bad. See, it took me a minute there. Elsa. Yes, Idina Menzel was this, at least the singing voice for Elsa. I know that. And there was this movie that came out like 15 years ago or 10 years ago, something like that. I think it was called Enchanted or something. It was with Amy Adams, played a princess who leaves the fairy tale world and enters the real world. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Patrick Dempsey was in it. Okay, and then even what's his name? The guy from The Notebook was in it too. I forgot his name. James Marsden. Yes. Okay, and he played like the Prince Charming that came out of the fairy tale world into the real world. And Patrick Dempsey and Idina Menzel played Patrick Dempsey's girlfriend in that one, I think, and whatever. Okay, so I know who she is. Okay. Yes, so that was the original Broadway cast. Obviously, because they needed this to be even more woke, they decided to cast an ugly black transgender thing, okay, non-binary trans ugly thing, to play Elphaba, which I think was a good call. You know, despite the fact that the original Wicked Witch of the West was played by a white woman. Okay, but you know, it's okay to, you know, to race swap, okay, as long as it's only in one direction, if you know what I mean. Okay, so yeah, so they had Cynthia Erivo, that's her name, bald-headed trans thing, Cynthia Erivo, GQ's Man of the Year. I'm not making that up. GQ's Man of the Year. Yes, I'm not making that up. All right, yeah, that ugly thing, is Man of the Year, and also Elphaba. Okay, I will say this about Cynthia Erivo: she did a great job. She was not playing the Wicked Witch of the West. She was playing a different character. She was playing Elphaba, Elphaba from the book or from the Broadway show, and she did a good job. You know, she's already ugly, so she had that going for her. You know, and the whole thing about Elphaba is she's ostracized by her peers because of her looks. She's born with green skin, you know, and she's butt ugly on top of that, you know. But you know, so she hears a woman who could easily become wicked, but instead she stays good, despite the fact that she's mistreated by everybody, especially by the so-called good people. Okay, so yes, that's a good story right there, and I liked how they did it, especially in the last one. They did a good job. You know, Cynthia Erivo did a great job portraying that loneliness. Okay, that I don't want to say self-pity, but that longing. You know, that depression that she experienced, okay, because she, of course, like in all these chick flicks, she always, the girl is always mid, and she always has the hots for like the super high above average guy. In this case, she falls in love with a prince, of course, because she couldn't fall in love with an ordinary guy or even an ugly guy. No, it had to be a super good looking 6'2", hung to a shoe, ripped abs, square jawed, filthy stinking rich royalty guy, and straight and no kids. Okay, yeah, that guy. Okay, well, the guy's gay in real life, so I guess so what? 5 out of 6 ain't bad, right? Okay, so of course that's the only kind of guy that any woman in these chick flicks would ever go out with. And then they call us fucking stupid for having pretty girls in our movies. Anyway, so yeah, so of course the most popular guy, it's fan fiction. Okay, she's an ugly woman, falls in love with the most popular guy, but of course the most popular guy is going out with the most popular girl, despite the fact that the most popular girl is only this much better looking than Elphaba. Okay, there's fucking a woman who fucking eats Ozempic for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Ariana Grande, my gosh, she looks like a concentration camp survivor, and she's supposed to be the pretty one. No, you ain't convincing me. Okay, that's why a gay guy had to play her girlfriend. That was the only way to make the scene somewhat believable. All right, so all that's going on here, and despite the fact that she's ugly and ostracized by her peers, her fellow students, she does have power. She's the chosen one. We've never seen that in a movie before. The chosen one. She's the chosen one. What does that mean? That means that whenever she needs to use powers, she automatically just has them because she was born green skin. So she automatically has telekinesis, and she can read your mind, and she can see the future, okay, and all this stuff. That's before she even gets the Book of Magic, okay? But once she gets the Book of Magic, she's the only person in Oz who can read that book. Why? How's that possible? Because she's just born with green skin. She's born ugly, so of course that means that she can do anything, female empowerment, right? Okay, so yeah, of course, that always happens in real life too. Okay, so that's all going on here. Okay, and I like the way the Cytherea portrayed that. Okay, the whole idea that people don't like her, they don't like Elphaba because they can't get past what she looks like. Very realistic, and I enjoyed that part of it. Okay, a lot of the some of the songs were really good too. The coloring was great. I mean, the costumes are top notch. The gay guy that designed the costumes, he did an incredible job. Incredible. Okay, I mean those colors, they really stick out. So kudos for that. Technically, the movie's incredible. Okay, and the story in Wicked, the first part was very good. Because they could play with a lot of stuff there. Okay, we don't know anything about Oz before Dorothy got there, so this was their chance to explain a lot of it. Who was the Cowardly Lion? Who was the Scarecrow before he became Scarecrow? Who was the Tin Man before he became the Tin Man? How did Glinda and the Wicked Witch of the West meet each other? Who was the Wicked Witch of the East? All we saw were her feet after she was dead. Who was this woman? That kind of thing. So they filled in those gaps. Okay, and so they could play a lot. Okay, but in this one, this is the bread and butter here of the whole series. Okay, in this one, in Wicked for Good, we got to tell the story of Elphaba, continue the story of Elphaba, while it's happening concurrently with the events of the Wizard of Oz, specifically the 1939 Wonderful Wizard of Oz movie. Okay, so those things have to line up together. Okay, we've got to see what was going on while the Wizard of Oz was happening. What was going on behind the scenes? What was Elphaba doing while Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow and the Lion were walking down the Yellow Brick Road? What was Elphaba doing at that time? What was Glinda doing at that time? Okay, other than the scenes that we saw them in, the monkeys. What was going on? Okay, they had to reconcile the events of the Wizard of Oz movie with the events of this movie, and it didn't match up. There's no way it could have matched up. Clearly, the original movie, The Wicked Witch of the West, was evil. She was wicked. She wasn't some mistreated, misunderstood woman, ugly woman. She was a bitch. Okay? She hated Dorothy. Okay? She wanted to kill, she threw fireballs at Dorothy. Okay? She had no problem killing Dorothy's friends either. Okay? She wanted those damn shoes and she was going to get them. Okay? You see what I mean? Yeah, she was not a kind person, a misunderstood person, a good person who just had, got a bad rap from the wizard's evil propaganda. No, that's not what happened. You see, and there's no way they could fit those two things together, so they just expect you just to go with it. Okay, same reason we don't really see Dorothy in this movie. Okay, we see her from the back. We never see her face. She never says anything. Okay, the only time we ever hear her is when she's screaming when one of the blue flying monkeys grabs her, snatches her off the road to the castle, and that's it. Okay, and there's a reason they couldn't show it because for rights. Okay, because I think Warner Bros. Owns the rights to that, and they couldn't get permission. Okay, all that shit's copyrighted. Okay, so they had to work around that, and therefore the movie falls flat. Okay, that's one of the many reasons this movie wasn't very good. The songs in this movie were not very good. I mean, I don't even remember the songs, man. You know, they invented a song for this movie that was not in the Broadway show. It was Over the Rainbow, No Place Like Home, man. No Place Like Home. And I don't even remember the words of that song. It was so non-memorable. You know, a lot of the songs in here were non-memorable. You know, so it's like, you know, who cares? No good deed goes unpunished. I don't even remember the words of that, but that was in here. The only song I remember from this movie was Marvelous. It'll be marvelous. That's the one that Jeff Goldblum sings. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So that's all going on. So of course the movie's not as good as the last one, and so people weren't as excited. They didn't turn out. Okay. This movie, as of right now, day after Christmas, this movie has only grossed like $492 million. Okay. The last movie, Wicked, okay, grossed $800 million. Big hit. So, you know, this one, it's stalled. Okay, I think 2 weeks ago it hit 430, and now it's at 490. Okay, it's not making any more money. Okay, Zootopia 2 came out right the weekend after this movie released, and now we've got Avatar: Fire and Ash. You know, we've got all sorts of other junk coming out now, so no one gives a crap about this movie. People weren't talking about it. The promotion was terrible. You had Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo acting like idiots, a bunch of woke retards. You know, like they were high on drugs during their interviews, during the press tours, acting weird, looking weird. You know, you don't want the weird people to promote your movie. The whole point of Wicked is, you know, you want to be cool. If you know, cool people go see Wicked, right? And then you see Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande doing interviews. They don't look cool at all. They look like a couple of weirdos. You know, they're acting weird. You know, and that's not going to draw people in. It's not going to want the average normie to spend their $25 to go see your damn movie, your gay movie. You know, it ain't going to happen. Okay, so I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, there were some good things in this movie. I'm going to get to that here in just a minute, but it wasn't as good as the last one, and no memorable songs. Okay, the last one they had memorable songs. All right, so we left off last time. The Tin Man is basically a psychopath now. He's bloodthirsty. Yes, he's bloodthirsty. He wants to kill the Wicked Witch of the West. He wants to kill Elphaba. Okay, he's on a mission to hunt her down and kill her and chop her up with that axe of his, because he blames her for turning him into a Tin Man. Okay, well, you know what, dude? It's an improvement. Okay, Bach was a butt ugly guy, okay, before he became a Tin Man, so being a Tin Man is an improvement. Okay, and for the record, Ethan Slater, you know, he left his wife and his newborn baby to be with Ariana Grande. They fell in love while making this movie. Well, guess what? They split up now. So she's already boning some big dick guy right now, and Ethan Slater's over here, you know, jerking off to gay porn. Okay, so like he's you know, I mean, what the hell, dude? Okay, I mean, that's what's going on in real life. And on top of that, their movie flopped. This movie flopped. Okay, it's not going to make back its budget. They're claiming it cost $150 million to make this movie. But when you add in what the theater gets, and when you add in marketing, you know, it's going to be a loss. It's going to be a loss. All right. So yeah. So it bombed. The last one made movie. Wicked Part 1 made movie. This one, it lost money. Okay, so we left off last time. The citizens are all happy. The wizard, of course, with his mechanical Jewish robot Jeff Goldblum head, he told Dorothy and her friends to go kill the Wicked Witch of the West, bring back her broomstick. So of course they went off there. Everybody's celebrating. I guess the whole town, the whole city, Emerald City, knows about it. They're all happy. They're lighting torches and marching around, you know, and the Tin Man's making speeches about how he's going to enjoy hacking up the Wicked Witch of the West, you know, which kind of offsets Glinda, who's watching this, you know, and she's just like, oh my God, they all want to kill her. Right? She's my friend, even though I'm on her enemy's side. Like, she's my friend, and even though she stole my fiance, she's still my friend, and I got to go help her. You know, that kind of thing. I don't want her to die. Okay, so she decides to not use her bubble machine, but she decides to steal a horse and put on a hoodie, and she goes off. I guess she knew where Prince Fiero's castle was. How does she know that? I don't know. Considering Fiyero told Elphaba after they had sex, yeah, he had sex with her. Well, I told you he was gay. All right. In real life, Jonathan Bailey, the actor that plays Fiyero, is gay in real life. Okay, that's the only way you could get through the whole, the whole sex scene stuff with a butt ugly Cynthia Erivo. But anyway, so he told Elphaba, okay, our getaway plan is, we're going to hide out at my castle that nobody knows about. It's secluded, it's empty. That's going to be where we're going to meet. Okay, and I'm going to fake your death. Okay, if I somehow survive, I'm going to fake your death. Just like, okay, the plan is they're going to try to trap you, okay, by killing your sister. So when you get there, okay, they're going to capture me, and I'm going to die, but you're going to plant a spell on me so that I don't die and I get turned into a scarecrow. And all the while, you're going to be hiding out at my castle that nobody knows about. Okay, and then I'm gonna manipulate the events to make sure this young girl, this 9-year-old girl played by an 18-year-old girl, okay, and her dog, and then anyone else that wants to come along, I'm gonna manipulate them to go see the wizard, okay, because I know damn well that the wizard's not gonna recognize me as the captain of his, of his Wicked Witch of the West task force that betrayed him. He ain't gonna recognize me as that, even though I'm wearing the same fucking uniform. Okay. And I'm going to manipulate them to hunt you down. And then once we get you, we're going to pretend to kill you by throwing water on you. I'm going to trick her to throw water on you. And thereby, you're going to pretend to melt. And thereby, then she's going to return your broomstick. And then we're going to walk off into the sunset. What a convoluted plan. Yeah. You see what I mean? When you say it like that, this movie's ridiculous, all right? Anyway, so that's all going on here, okay? Yeah, and of course, the Tin Man does not recognize the Scarecrow as Fiyero, even though they both went to college together. I mean, this is ridiculous, okay? Of course, Bach would know the Scarecrow. He would know Fiyero. He hates Fiyero because Fiyero is the one that ended up with Glinda, and he was in love with Glinda. Instead, he had to settle for the consolation prize, which was a crippled girl, Anissa Rose, Elphaba's sister, because he couldn't get the girl that he wanted. So this all makes no sense, okay? It's ridiculous. Okay, so the Sisters of Oz, they're all happy that they're going to go hunt down the Wicked Witch of the West and kill her. They're all marching in Oz with torches, and they're all singing about killing the Wicked Witch of the West. Okay, Dorothy and friends, that we see them from a distance, okay, march out of the land of Oz. They're marching out of there, the four of them, and they're going off to see the witch. Okay, they're going to go to her castle. All right, we see it from a distance, okay? Meanwhile, at Fiyero's castle, that's where Elphaba's been hiding. That's where all her army, her little army of blue flying monkeys are there with her. Elphaba orders the monkeys to go find Dorothy and bring back her sister's shoes. Okay, now in the original movie, we know damn well that the Wicked Witch of the West and Dorothy have already met each other. In fact, she's already threatened her. Okay, she already told her, I want the shoes, blah, blah, blah. She couldn't take them by force. She's already thrown fireballs at her while they were walking down the Yellow Brick Road on the way to see the wizard. She's already done all this stuff, okay? But this movie's telling you that right now, after they kidnap her, is the first time that Elphaba and Dorothy meet, okay? Which makes no sense at all. Okay? All right. So, meanwhile, Glinda rides to the castle on the horse that she stole from the Emerald City. Okay, and we see the monkeys snatch Dorothy. Okay, we don't see Dorothy. We see the monkey snatch Dorothy, and we see Dorothy being snatched from her point of view. So we see her looking at her feet being raised up in the air and screaming. We hear her screaming, but we don't actually see Dorothy's face. Okay, I told you, for legal reasons, right? Now, how the hell did Glinda know where the fuck Elphaba was hiding? How did she know that she was hiding at Fiyero's castle? Okay, did Glinda know that Fiyero had a castle when they were engaged? Did he tell her that he had a hidden castle somewhere that was unoccupied? Well, if he did tell Glinda this, then why the hell would he tell Elphaba to hide there? If Glinda already told Glinda about it. This makes no sense. All right, anyway. So that's going on here, okay? They snatch Dorothy from her point of view up in the air, and we hear her screaming, okay? Next scene, Glinda arrives at this castle, and we hear Elphaba and Dorothy, Okay, we hear Elphaba yelling at Dorothy. Okay, we don't see Dorothy. Okay, and Elphaba is telling Dorothy, she shoves Dorothy down into the cellar, you know, and locks her in there. Okay, and she's telling her, oh, for Oz's sake, stop crying. I can't listen to you anymore. You want to go home and see your aunt? What's her name again? It's Emma, Auntie M. Okay, you have to get those shoes off your feet. Okay, boom. So she's telling her, listen, I'm going to lock you up down here until you get those shoes off your feet. I don't care about your aunt. Stop your damn crying about wanting to go home. I want those damn slippers, and you're not leaving here until I get them. All right? Well, she tried to get them, okay, in the original movie. Remember, Dorothy tried to take them off, and she couldn't. The only way they could be removed from Dorothy's feet was if she died. Okay, that's why the witch had to come up with a certain spell to kill Dorothy so that she could take the shoes off safely. You see? That was all. Remember, she was like, oh, that's not what bothers me. You know, these things must be done delicately, or it might hurt the spell. Remember that? Well, all that gets wiped out in this movie. All right? So what the hell? Okay? She's mad at Dorothy for not giving her the slippers, which Dorothy cannot take off herself. You know, it makes no sense. All right? Okay, so that's going on here. Okay, we see Elphaba slam shut the cellar doors. So we know Dorothy's down there, but we just don't see her. Okay, this is the moment when Glinda arrives. Okay, so now Glinda and Elphaba have a conversation while Dorothy's locked up in the cellar. Okay, obviously this never happened in the original movie. Okay, Glinda says, like, they're coming for you. Let the little girl go. You can't go on like this. Okay, and Elphaba says, go away. I can do whatever I want. Haven't you heard? I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. And also Cheshire shows that. Cheshire is the captain of the Flying Monkey. He's one of the Flying Monkeys, okay? He's the only one that has a name. One of the blue monkeys with the wings, okay? He shows up, and he brings Elphaba a piece of Fiero's uniform, okay? The Gale Force Guard uniform. He was the leader of the guards. Okay, and their job was a task force, basically. Their job was to capture Elphaba and bring her to the wizard as a prisoner. Okay, obviously they didn't succeed in doing that, but the Scarecrow is still wearing the damn uniform, and now a piece of it was torn off by Cheshire, and he just gave it to Elphaba. Elphaba looks at it. Yes, it's a part of Fiero's costume. Now, Elphaba already turned Fiero into a goddamn scarecrow. Okay, we saw that happen because she didn't know what the hell she was doing. She had no idea he would turn into a scarecrow. She was just trying to save his life because his guards, after he became traitor, his guards saw him as a traitor now, and so they beat him to death. Yeah, they beat him to death, and then propped up his dead body on like a scarecrow. Okay, they crucified him. Okay, and then his body transformed into a scarecrow. I guess that's when Dorothy met him, whatever. And he did his whole stupid dance, if I only had a brain, which was all crap now. He was just faking being dumb. Okay, his whole plan was to manipulate Dorothy to see the wizard, knowing damn well the wizard could not send her home, and then manipulating her some more to kill Elphaba in order to fake her death, believably. Ridiculous. This makes no sense. All right, so that's going on here. Okay, we see that. We see the piece of Fiero's uniform, okay? And Elphaba says, like, and of course, Glenn is all upset because Glenn is still in love with Fiero, even though he's gay. But that's the kind of men that, Ariana Grande attracts, gay guys. So she's like, oh my God, is that Fiero's? Is he dead? And Elphaba just looks and says, like, you've seen his face for the last time. All right, so that's what's going on here, and then Elphaba tells Glinda, "You're right. It does have to stop." So she draws a pail of water into a bucket, okay, and Glinda asks her, "What are you doing?" Now they know damn well that water's not going to kill Elphaba, okay, but for some reason the citizens believe it that water will kill. Why the fuck would water kill her? Okay, water wouldn't do anything to her. She's not afraid of water, okay. Anyway. Elphaba says, you can't be found here with me. Okay, you must go now. And Glinda says, like, I'll tell everyone the truth about you. Okay? You're not who they say they are. You're not who they say you are. In other words, there's a huge propaganda campaign against Elphaba. That's why they call her the Wicked Witch of the West, because they're not allowed to call her Elphaba anymore. Okay? The whole city of Oz wants everyone to think that she's a bad guy so that they'll stay away from her, so that if they see her, they won't trust her. They'll turn her in. You see what I mean? So everybody believes that she's evil even though she's not. It's just a PR campaign against her, all right? Okay? But of course, Glinda knows the truth, but she's done absolutely nothing, okay, to stop the wizard and Madame Morrible from this horrible PR campaign, all right? And yet somehow they're supposed to be best friends, but she's done nothing to stop the people. She's on the side of the people that are trying to hurt her best friend. This makes no sense. All right, anyway. Glinda says, I'll tell everyone the truth about you, that you're not who they say you are. And Elphaba looks at her and says, like, no, you can't, because they'll turn against you if you do. Okay? You can't. And Glinda's like, I don't care. The people have to know that you're not evil. And Elphaba's like, I do care. You must promise me that you will not try to clear my name. Glinda's like, why would I promise that? Because they need someone to be wicked so that you can be good. Makes sense. I mean, if you want everyone to think that you're a good person, that you're a good guy, then you need to create a bad guy. And if there isn't one available, then you'll make one up. Okay? Or you'll make a scapegoat and call that person bad. Okay? As long as you've got someone to point to and say that person, that is bad, then you're automatically good. You see what I mean? It's just a form of manipulation. Okay? And it works. I mean, wars have been started over this. Why do you think there's so many people out there that just hate people, hate celebrities, and pick sides in celebrity feuds? Even though they don't know these people, they know nothing about what's really going on. It's because the media manipulates the narrative. They want you to pick one side. Okay, look what's going on in politics right now. That's all politics is trying to manipulate it to pick one side without knowing the full truth. And both sides do it. Okay? And that's what's going on here. Okay, these same people that are telling you what an evil thing that is happening to Elphaba are the same people that do this shit to real life politicians. You see what I mean? The hypocrisy knows no end. Okay? This is what MSNBC does. MS Now. They changed their name because NBC wanted nothing to do with them. They sold them off. Okay? CNN does this. Fox does. Everyone does this. Who do you think these professional YouTubers are? Okay? What do you think Tim Pool is? Okay? He's just another cog in the system. Megyn Kelly. Okay? Ben Shapiro. Okay? They're just another cog in the system. Their job is to manipulate you, to tell you what they want you to know, so that you can be on their side. You see what I mean? And the libtards do it too. They've always done it. They've done it through your TV shows, Friends, okay? And your damn Disney movies. Okay, you ever wonder why Star Wars went woke? Or why all the Marvel superhero movies went woke and lost all their money? It's because of shit like this. They don't go out of their way. Well, sometimes they do. They'll point at you, the audience, the customer, like Gillette did in 2019, where they told every man that you're all a piece of shit. And then they wanted you to buy their razors. No, I don't think so. Okay, so sometimes they do blame you. And it's always the straight white Christian guy that they blame. But they'll blame you. You're the problem. And then they'll expect you to spend your money on them. You see what I mean? This is how they do it. This is how they do it. Okay? It's like, they're not going to tell you that, they're not going to go up to you, and like for example, if they, you see those commercials, it's always an interracial couple, it's always an interracial couple. They're not going to tell you, hey, if you're white and you want to be with a white girl, there's nothing wrong with that. They're not going to tell you that. They're just going to tell you how wonderful it is to date outside your race. Okay, that way, if one of you says, but I don't like to date outside my race. Oh, you're a racist! You're a racist! Ah! You see what I mean? That's how they do it. That's how they do it. They gaslight you. They try to get you. They try to get you to think about a situation a certain way, so that you're either on their side or you're the enemy. You see what I mean? Okay, they're not gonna say something like American flag, for example. Okay, if you have an American flag, that's, I'm proud of my country. If you say you're proud of your country, they're going to tell you that you're a fucking racist, that you're a Nazi, because you have an American flag. That means you're MAGA. You see what I mean? Which means you're the enemy, which means that we have the right to do whatever the hell we want to you, because you're not even human anymore. You've been othered. Okay, the stuff that they're doing to Elphaba in this movie is the stuff that they do to Republicans in real life. You know, the people that made this movie, they don't even realize that they're the problem. This is what they do in real life. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. But yes, that's what's going on here. So basically, in order for you to be the good guy, and for everybody to love you and expect you to be the good guy, then I have to be the bad guy. It's kind of like that movie, The Dark Knight. Okay, I remember The Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan movie, the one where Heath Ledger played the Joker right before he died. Remember that one? Well, at the end of that one, Batman told Commissioner Gordon, hey, listen, I want you to make sure that I get blamed for the murder of Two-Face, okay? Everyone, okay, we're going to keep it a secret that he was Two-Face, okay? But everyone's going to think that I killed him. You know I didn't kill him, but I want you to tell everybody that I killed him. But it's not fair. You didn't kill him. It doesn't matter, okay? If everybody thinks that I killed him, okay, they're going to think that he was a good guy. They're not going to know that he turned evil, okay? If they know that he turned evil, then all those criminals that he put behind bars, okay, as the district attorney, they're all going to get let free. And that's a worse circumstance. And then Commissioner Gordon tells them, but you're not. You didn't do this. You say this. It doesn't matter. I am whatever the city needs me to be. And right now, the city needs me to be the villain. And so I'm going to play the villain. I want you to blame me for his murder. Blame me for his death. Have the cops hunt me. Okay? Because it's the right thing to do. You see what I mean? It's not about, you know, justice or whatever. It's, you know, or maybe it's not about the right thing. It's about what's going to work. Batman was willing to take the blame in order to save the city. Okay? That's why the cops were all hated Batman in the third movie. Because they thought that he killed the district attorney. Okay? Because they didn't know the truth. They didn't know that the district attorney went crazy and started killing people. You see what I mean? So for the greater good, Batman had to take that role. Like, okay, yes, blame me for it. I'll accept. I'll be the one that everyone thinks did it. Okay, I'll take that on because that's what the city needs. Okay, you see what I mean? And that's what's going on here as well. Elphaba's going like, no, they already think I'm the bad guy. I need you to make sure they keep thinking I'm the bad guy. As long as they think I am the bad guy, you can stay the good guy. If they find out that I'm a good guy too, okay, they're going to see you as a liar, as part of the propaganda machine, okay? And I can't let that happen to you because they need hope. The people need hope. You see what I mean? So I get it. You know, it works. It's 3D. It's a three-dimensional thinking, all right? Anyway, so of course, but Glinda's like, but why would I do that? Why would I go along with this? Okay? And Elphaba tells the truth. Okay, and this is a really good scene. Cynthia Erivo really did a really good scene here. She says, like, because I'm limited. Because I'm limited. You know, which is ironic because Elphaba is the most powerful character in the movie. She had powers before she even got the magic book, and now she's got more powers because of the magic book. Okay, she already had telekinesis. She's got a flying broomstick. She's got all these things, right? You know, she can read your mind. Okay, she's all these things that she can do. Okay, but the things that she can't do are the things that are important to her. Okay, the things that she can't just have a normal life. She can't just have friends. She can't fit in with society. She can't just like have a boyfriend and live happily ever after. You see what I mean? Those are the things that she can't do. And those are the things that are most important to her. These are the things that Glinda can easily do, she can't do. She's limited. She can't make people like her. You see what I mean? And that bothers her a lot because she's a good person and she wishes people would like her. But they can't get past her appearance, and now it's even worse because everyone thinks that she's a villain. Okay? So she is limited. She's never going to be a Glinda. She's never going to be able to be Glinda. She's not that girl. You see? Okay? But Glinda can do those things. Glinda can be the image. Glinda can be the role model. Okay? She can be the face of the Emerald City. She can be the face of the Land of Oz. Okay? In a way that Elphaba will never be. Okay? Because she's not pretty and she's too ugly. People don't trust her. You see? So she's limited. Okay? And so she starts singing the song For Good, which I thought was okay. I mean, I don't remember the words of the song, but I understand the meaning behind the song. Okay? And I see the irony here, okay? That Glinda is so powerful, but she's only concerned with the things that she can't do. Okay? She can't just be treated good by people. You see? She can't just be trusted. Okay? Because of what she looks like, you know? She's limited. You know, she knows damn well that people will never like her the way they like Glinda. She'll never be the popular girl like Glinda is. She'll never have a whole bunch of adoring fans or people that love her, you know. Okay, she knows that. Okay, she's never had that, and she'll never have that. You know, and so that's why she's limited. Okay, but Glinda can do those things. She can't. So Elphaba, like I said, Elphaba is the most powerful person in Oz, but she wants to be able to do the ordinary things that everyone else can do. You know, like look normal. Okay, like be treated normal. Okay, see past her ugliness. Okay, that's what's most important to her. Okay, and that's something that she can't do. Those are things that she can't do. Okay, Elphaba gives Glinda the Grimoire. Okay, the magic book. Okay, the one that only she can read. And of course, Glinda's like, I can't do it. I don't have no magical powers. I can't even read that book. And she's like, well, you're gonna have to learn how. Okay, you're gonna have to learn how to read this magic book because I can't hold it anymore. Okay, she's like, you'll have to learn to read it. Okay, because good can't just be a word. Okay, it has to change things. Because now it's up to you. Whatever. Okay, so she's passing the torch basically. Listen, my time is done here. Okay, there's no more that I can do. All the important things that I was trying to do, you're gonna have to do them now. Okay, because I can't stay here in Oz anymore. Okay, I've got to go somewhere else. I got to. She's trying to let her know, hey, listen, I'm gonna die here. That's what Glinda thinks. Glinda thinks, okay, you're about to let this young girl Dorothy kill you. You're gonna let her do that. Okay, but that's not. The truth is that Elphaba is going to fake her death, and she can't have Glinda know the truth. She can't have Glinda know that, right? So Elphaba has to disappear for good. Okay, you know. So they started to sing that stupid song, because now it's up to you. Okay, and of course, you know, Elphaba tells Glinda, "You're the only friend I've ever had." And it's a good acting on both sides here. It really is good acting. Okay, these two have very good chemistry with each other. Okay, Cynthia Erivo does a good job here. I'm not going to take anything away from her. Yes, she's dog ugly, and I fucking hate her politics, and I think she's a weirdo, and she needs psychiatric help. Okay, she's just an ugly woman. Okay, yes, those are all true, but she's also a very good actress. At least playing an ugly girl. Yeah, you ain't gonna get much better than Cynthia Erivo. Okay, I think she's got that locked down. Okay, I think she can play that believably. All right, and her singing is very good. It's even better than Ariana Grande. So you know, props. You did a great job playing this. Not the Wicked Witch of the West. She ain't playing the Wicked Witch of the West. She's playing Elphaba, a completely different character. Okay, so yeah, so she did a good job here. Okay, you know, she tells Glinda, she's like, you're the only friend I've ever really had. And Glinda says like, and I've had so many friends, you know, but not real friends. Okay, so they start singing. I had been changed for good because I knew you. Because I knew you. So you get the sassy ass lesbo fucking singing to each other about how much they love each other, despite the fact that they've been arch enemies throughout the whole fucking series. Okay, yeah, all that's going on here, you know, because I knew you, whatever. Okay, so they sing to each other for like 2 hours, all right. Okay, and then they hug each other goodbye. Okay, and Glinda realizes this is goodbye. Okay, and she hides Glinda in the closet. Get it? She shoves Glinda in the closet. Get in the closet. You get it? Okay, the subdivision here. You read between the lines, okay? This thing is all fucking gay, okay? It was written by a gay guy. Yes, this was written by a gay guy because he never saw himself as a gay guy. He saw himself as an ugly girl, okay? This guy, yeah, Gregory Maguire, gay. Who made the Broadway show? Stephen Schwartz, gay. Okay, everyone in this damn thing is gay. Okay, so if they're gonna throw away, let's hide you in the closet. Yes, it's gay. All right, Jesus Christ. Anyway. Oh, no, that's Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia Erivo is Jesus Christ. I'm not making that up. She plays Jesus Christ in Jesus Christ Superstar on Broadway. I am not making that up. Ugly, bald, black woman is playing Jesus Christ on Broadway right now. I'm not making that up. All right, so that's going on here, okay? Okay, so they sing to each other for like 2 hours. They hug each other goodbye, and then she hides Glinda in the closet. Get it? Okay, and then she tells her to stay and that everything will be okay, all right? And then they tell each other that they love each other, blah, 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 okay? And then the death comes next, all right? But I'll talk about that in the next video, okay? Anyway, I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.